Sometimes love really is too good to be true. Each year, thousands of Canadians fall victim to romance scams. In fact, in 2024, Canadians lost more than $58 million to online scammers pretending to be romantic partners.
All right, licensed insolvency trustee Frida Richer joins us this morning to explain why this is such a growing concern. Frida, it's good to see you again. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, let's talk about romance scams becoming such a problem right across the country. We just heard Carolyn with some of the facts there.
Yeah, this type of scam is just highly effective to the scammer because it really plays off of the emotional state of the victims. And, it's such people who are isolated or feel that they need that connection for companionship are manipulated and exploited. And that's why seniors are often really the targets. I think that, the financial losses that are growing in Canada year over year are actually much greater than we think because not all victims report their situation.
So it's much higher than that 58 million.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So what are some of the warning signs we should watch out for?
Okay, well, the first one is about your intuition, like your gut instinct, trusting that or your spidey senses. If things look too good to be true and there's just an overabundance of things like looks or accomplishments, the backstory, take that as a sign, okay? Look for inconsistencies in the information they provide. So if their story it changes from one moment to the next. With artificial intelligence and these fake profiles, they look really convincing, fake photos. Look for subtle changes to even facial features and backgrounds. And just be very mindful, have that on your radar. And the third thing is if that individual pushes to move the communication to a different platform, maybe it's to an encrypted messaging app, well, that's to protect their anonymity and to make it more difficult for you to find them and to verify their background. But probably the biggest warning sign that sort of screams bright red is the moment they ask for money.
Right.
So nearly all romance scams circle back to that financial ask, and it's usually framed as an emergency. And there's a push towards really untraceable types of payments like cryptocurrency and gift cards. So at that moment, take a pause, leave the conversation if you need to, and just reassess.
All right. We alluded to this a moment ago, but let's talk a bit more about the stigma associated with this and victims that fall for these romance scams, because people are often embarrassed when they find out they've been scammed in this manner.
Absolutely. People feel embarrassed, feel like they're going to get judged, but scammers really deliberately rely on that shame to keep their victims silent. And unfortunately, that results in widespread underreporting. People don't want to get judged. And unfortunately, if you don't speak up, it allows the scammer to continue to do what they're doing. But if you do speak up, it allows even the platform or authorities to track, to monitor, and investigate.
Let me interrupt, sorry. We only got about a minute left, and you've got some tips on how we can protect ourselves.
Yeah, I think the first thing is tell a friend. If you tell your best friend, you tell your adult children about what's happening, they can look at the blind spots that maybe you're not seeing because you're emotionally invested. Also, be very careful about the personal information that you are unintentionally revealing, like a photo of you standing in front of your home with your address. I mean, those are things that the scammer can exploit. But again, the best thing is to be open and honest with your family members. Reveal, what's the latest and greatest thing that's happening in your romantic life, and let them be that voice of clarity for you.
Okay, some great tips that are so timely and so important. Frida, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. And that is it for us. Thank you so much for watching. Coming up tomorrow,
a bunch of good things we haven't thought of yet. But I guarantee it's going to be great.
Well, actually, Susie Wall has a spring break checklist, and Shai DeLuca is answering your decor questions. So
there you go.
There you go. Lots to come on Wednesday on The Morning Show. Have a great day. We'll see you then.
This portion of The Morning Show is brought to you by Grant Thornton Limited, licensed insolvency trustees.